Every successful entrepreneur began with a simple act of putting pen to paper and getting started. They'd progressed past the stage of motivation that they had reached when they first started. Their habit, on the other hand, is what allows them to continue to exist. According to Wikipedia, an established pattern of behavior that's repeated regularly and that tends to occur subconsciously is defined as habits. Good habits are wonderful, but bad habits are dangerous because they're so addictive. They can demolish dreams more quickly than you can imagine. Sadly, they take place in your subconscious, which can be quite frustrating. You become a victim of your bad habits in the same way that termites consume wood. They demolish aspirations and, if allowed to flourish, cripple the ability of entrepreneurs to invent new products and services. A problem well stated is a problem half solved, as the eminent philosopher Charles Kettering once observed. Although this quote may apply to bad habits, I'm concerned that it may not apply to good habits. An investigation by CBS News' 60 Minutes found that a majority of people will only give up a bad habit if they have a near-death experience as a result of it. To break a bad habit, you must be extremely disciplined and self-conscious about your actions. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you must eliminate the following bad habits from your life. Number 1. Omnitasking. Even the most powerful computing systems indeed have their limits. If you overburn them with too many tasks, they will come to an abrupt stop. Similarly, you and your abilities as a creative individual may be described as follows. Although you are multi-talented and incredibly knowledgeable, there's a limit to the number of jobs that you should be able to handle at any given time to preserve efficiency. You might want to consider setting an artificial limit on the number of things you can concentrate on at one time. To begin, start with a tiny number and then increase it as you see fit. Number 2. Excessive promising is a bad thing. Your confidence is crucial, and you most certainly exude it in plenty at the moment. The temptation to make promises that are unreasonable in light of the resources you have available can be strong. On the other hand, this can be dangerous. It's feasible that you may be able to generate 3 times the number of apps that you normally do this month, but this will result in a fall in the worth of your assets. Don't commit to big-scale production unless you're convinced that the returns will more than offset the costs of doing business in enormous quantities. Keep in mind that development is done more slowly and steadily than you might expect at first. Number 3. Monotasking. If you found yourself nodding your head in agreement during the last paragraph, it's conceivable that you're an obsessive monotasker. When the tasks you're juggling are numerous and tough to handle, the Zen concept that we should only do one thing at a time is valid. The modern world, on the other hand, doesn't require the use of your entire or even the majority of your mental powers to complete a task. You should pay complete attention to it if you come across one that does. As a result, you may need to add another task or two to your list if you find yourself in this situation. Keep in mind that in order to reach your goals, you have to maintain a good mindset. So check in the description my number 1 recommendation that helps you obtain that sooner than you expected. Number 4. Holding up the development of the system. During the early stages of a new company's development, many decisions are made on the fly, and there are few parameters to stick to. That can be tremendously liberating, but if you want your enterprises to grow and prosper, you'll need to put in place management systems to ensure that they do so. You must walk away from your office and have your business continue to operate without interruption if you want to grow your company. In any business, it's never too early to begin developing management policies and leadership strategies for the organization's future. You can think of them as being analogous to the framework that'll be utilized to construct new branches for your organization. Number 5. Being overly fearful of taking risks. Nothing worthwhile happens unless there's a combination of risk and commitment, and it's important to recognize when one is more effective than the other in achieving results. Instead of avoiding risks, you can aim to put in regular, serious work consistently to compensate for your fear of taking chances. It goes without saying, there are more important vices to be concerned about in the grand scheme of matters. Failure to recognize the moments when the value of a particular task is at its most advantageous can, on the other hand, result in your company becoming non-competitive in the marketplace.